Hi all, welcome to the session. Today I will be showcasing you a chatbot. So it's a live demo for the whole tool that I just developed some days back. So we'll start with the high level overview. So if you see, there are four main components to it. The heart of it is the vector DB, for which I have chosen Weaviate, where we will be uploading all the data embeddings for policies or any other thing HR team wish to use it for. Uh, the chat speak part of it, which is being used as a voice bot and can parse user queries, parse user voice queries, I would say, and then answer the queries back in voice only. So there are two models from Google I'm using here. One is voice to text or speech to text Google model, and the second one is text to speech, which will be saying text to voice. And these are the two models that I'm using for the voice bot. Uh, Now let's dig into the HR query side of it. HR query, basically it's a RAG. Uh, so we are using Langchain. It's an open source interface. That library available for Python too, which I'm using to integrate it with Hugging Face for embeddings, uh, which we will use for uh, like converting text to vectors using Hugging Face text to vector. One of the models I'm using from there. It's open source mostly, and for the uh, text summarization side of it, I'm using OpenAI. Uh, OpenAI, some GPT model again for the summarization and passing prompt side of it. So Langchain, like pretty good interface, like a library available to integrate all these things together, right, and gel it together and make a proper app in very nominal time, because like a lot of the features that has been provided by Langchain out of the box really help the development. So lastly, like let me dive into this text chatbot side of it. It's just like a plain panel UI, again a Python library where we are using like for sending down our queries to the HR and then getting the responses back based on the different models that HR query can use and answer our questions back. So it's kind of a multi-modal AI over here. So one place we are using text summarization and text bot chat on the side, and the other end of it, like we are using voice side of it, right, where all the Google services are used for both sides, text to speech and speech to text conversion. So this is like the overview. um, And the yellow sides you see it, I would say like you have to wait for it. I'm still working on it. So once they are done, I will publish similar videos. So keep a check on the and channel, like whatever, like and check for the videos. So that is all for this HR bot overview. So let's dig into the data side of it. So let me take you to the code. So basically, for initial purposes like for creating schemas and other things, I have just taken this moody.txt file, which is nothing but like a Wikipedia page about Modi, like Prime Minister of India, readily available, right? All these things. So I just took it and copy pasted. And we can use this like for initial uh, like loading and creating schema structure in a database for the vector DB. So let me take you here, back here on my vector DB. So as you can see, right, like we have a GraphQL nice query over here, which we can use on a Weaviate cloud to just check what has been loaded into the data. So it says like it's empty because I have deleted everything for the purpose to start it fresh. Um, so just to tell you about Weaviate, right? Weaviate provide cloud as well as like you can run Weaviate locally using Docker. Maybe we will cover that thing some other time. For now, I'm using a cloud service, so not running Weaviate locally. So there is no like Docker being used here right now. Um, and it like gives a 14-day free sandbox environment, right? Later it just deletes it and then you can recreate it anyway. So you have a option for that to test with it. Okay, so I will say enough for Weaviate, and like let's go back to the code and let's try to load the modi.txt file and seal, and let's create some schemas. So I have just kept delete to 0 so that I don't just end up deleting the database again. Let's start loading. Let's see. It should take a couple of seconds just to connect to the client that is on the um, cloud Weaviate sandbox. And then like parsing should like take like, see, done like pretty fast, very fast with Langchain and able to achieve that. It's loaded embedding clients and it should just give me a result, right? How much data did it load? Okay, 97 embeddings are loaded into our vector DB right now. Okay, awesome. So this is one side of it, right? So we have loaded the modi.txt file just to create some embeddings and create the schema. So let me cover the second side of the data for which we are actually going to what like this solution is meant for the HR policies. So as you see, like I just created some dummy company. It's just like called Masala Limited, uh, who are very proud of making good masalas for butter chicken since 1947. So who doesn't like butter chicken and good Indian food and masalas? So just let's see, like they have couple of policies. I just like added some couple of policies for this particular company. We'll load this up later. We are not using it right now. I will show you when we load it. We will use it as a PDF, load it as a PDF, and then like later we'll showcase you how we use it. So let me jump back to code again. This thing is done. So one thing I will do here is I will start the chatbot and I will start the REST API, which is built on Flask again. So the chatbot is the text bot. I will show you in some time. And this Flask API, REST API, which we will be using to communicate between our two services, ChatSpeak and HR Query. ChatSpeak will call this REST API and pass on the text context to this HR query, which it will use with RAG to answer some queries and respond back in text to ChatSpeak API again. So this is the little overview. We'll go back into it later. Let them run at the back end. So meanwhile, let's see what happened on our Weaviate cluster as we have loaded the data. Do we see anything now? Okay, awesome. So now as you can see, like there are a couple of data that like I have asked for limit 3. If you increase the limit, you can decrease the limit. Let's try to decrease limit. It will only return one line. And then like this is just like a plain GraphQL query, nothing very fancy here. So you can just use it and check what is happening in your vector TV. So vector DB is done. Like now let's refresh our chatbot and then see like what is happening here. Okay, loaded client, WebSocket connection opened. So I think so this bot should be up now. Awesome. Bot is up. Uh, okay, let me walk you through this bot pretty quickly. Conversation, as it says, enter your text here, ask whatever you want to, and it will answer you back. Uh, just in the context that we provide, not everything like ChatGPT, but in the context, whatever you pass it, it will definitely answer and summarize it for you. Database, this is kind of the backend where you pass a query and on semantic search, it will go and fetch the embeddings and it will show what all embeddings were fetched and it will show it here. Chat history. So basically, whatever chat we will be doing in the conversation area, the user and the bot chat history will be stored as an array, like in some variable, and it will be displayed here. So why it is needed? Wait for it. I will go into the code and explain you, and then you will have a better understanding. So configure we are using just to upload the PDF file. The PDF file that I was showing you earlier can be like simply uploaded from here. Then there will be like embeddings created for it and loaded to vector DB simply. So this is the functionality that is for the PDF and HR can use it anytime, right? They can upload it. So this is like basic functionality. Like in a real world, uh, it will be really fancy and like people can use it for their task wherever needed. So let me jump back into the code and before that, like let's ask something. So we'll go back there again. Now, as we have data for Modi in the vector DB. So let's ask this chatbot, can you tell me who is Modi's mother and father? So RAG is running, and like it returned us back, right? Modi's mother names and father names, and it's saying thanks for asking. Never bad to say thanks. So we have asked our AI to say thanks for every time we ask them questions. Uh, so let me explain you a little bit over here by going back to the code. So we have ask with prompt Python file. This is where like we have defined, right, that the template of what we will be passing to the uh, AI model. So we have set the temperature to 0. And if you see, like I'm specifically saying that, hey, model, like that you have to use this particular context only. Even though you have been trained on a lot of data out of this context, but do not go out of this context. Use it, and maybe you can use the chat history and answer the questions using this context only. So as you see, like I have set temperature to 0, and I have given a context, and specifically told the model like that you have to use it and answer in this particular limit only. We have put the guardrails so that it doesn't hallucinate and creates its own answers, even though it doesn't know about what is the policy for that particular company because it's not trained on it. So we are just specifically telling the model that this is what you have been given, and then like you have to answer on it. The chat history will be the history that we will be passing. Context is what we will be fetching as embeddings from the database. So I hope this makes sense. Now, like in case like I go back to my chat screen and now ask the model, suppose, who is Sachin Tendulkar? He's a famous cricketer. Model should know about it. If it was using actual chat GPT model without any temperature regulations, it will answer pretty fine, right? Who is Sachin Tendulkar? Is a famous cricketer. But in this scenario, as we have put guardrails, and then we are saying, right, you cannot move out of the context. So it is answering questions uh, in that context only. And it said, right, I don't know who Sachin Tendulkar is. So this is what I wanted to show, right? Like you can specifically train model, like you not train model, you can specifically ask the model to answer in the context that you pass. And like you can use it for many other things and many other datas, um, and like whatever policies or whatever uh, data you want to ask questions on, just go and configure it using the configure UI, and then it's ready to answer the questions. So this is the chat side of it where we are using text. Now let's go back into our code and let me take you to the voice side of it. Okay, so voice side, let's run it. So it's using Google speech recognition and GTTS, text to speech, for answering in voice. So let's run it, and as I explained earlier, right? So let's run it and then see. Hi,
Hello, dear. How can I help you?
how are you?
I'm very well, thanks for asking.
Can you tell me where Modi was born?
Sure, give me a moment and let me check that for you.
Now it is like checking, maybe going back and it will answer something.
Modi was born in Vadnagar, Masana district, Bombay state, present-day Gujarat. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. So I'm just stopping it. I don't want to waste my OpenAI free credits. So we'll restart it whenever we have another question. I don't want it to listening in the background and just eating away all my credits. So we'll get back here. So basically, you can see, right? It just like if you see all the terminal logs here, it is just taking, creating text and then using the text to answer, and then like using the text again to voice and then answering back. So this is the whole story happening on this side of it. Um, so now let's get a little into the actual use case where we will be uploading the PDF. Thank you for all the Modi things, and we will be getting away from it for now. Let's see like what is happening on the PDF side of it, right? So let's go to our HR pot and go and configure the masala company's HR policies. So here we go. Let's load it. Let's see what is happening in the background. Started loading and I think so completed. Yeah, it's done loading. It says completed loading PDF. So basically it split the PDF, loaded the PDF, and then created embeddings and everything. So let's go to our Weaviate and now check like what do we have for masala here. Okay, so you can see like a lot of data, right, with masala being populated. So this is all real time, right? Like in an actual world scenario, if you can think of HR can use some kind of apps or UIs, right, where people can just go and upload data, and then later employees can simply go into chatbots, voice bots, and get their question answers in real time, whatever way uh, they want to. Okay, now let's get back into this uh, conversation. Before that, like, let me just show you this thing. I think so. We just didn't go into this. So, like, if you see, right, as I told you earlier, right, so this database is fetching embedding based on some embedding search or something from the database, vector database, and the chat history is like keeping the chat history for us that we are passing into those prompts, right? In case like you want to know what is here. So now let's go back to our conversation and ask our chatbot about some policies for Masala Corp. Okay, let's ask what is Masala's policy for child labor? Now let's see, right, what it comes up with. Awesome. So we got an answer back. So it's just saying Masala Limited is against exploitation, like in all those things. So let's see, like this might has been picked up from the document that we have supplied it to. Okay, here we go. So here are all the things like that was there in the document, and then they later got as embedding into the database, and similar things like if you see like um, masala aims to create, right, and everything, all those things has been supplied as context to the LLM model, and then this summarized text came back. So awesome. So as you see, like it was pretty good at answering our queries with the context that we have provided. So let's finish the tutorial like by going on to the voice side of it again, and then proving us ourselves like that the data that was loaded using PDF files are actually there or not. Okay, let me start it again. So give it a couple of minutes to fire up. Hi,
Hi there. How can I help you?
how are you? How are you?
I'm very well, thanks for asking.
Can you tell me what is Masala's policy on workplace diversity?
Sure, give me a moment and let me check that for you.
So now it maybe went into background and it will answer question in some time. Let's see.
Masala's policy on workplace diversity is to create an inclusive environment where employees from different backgrounds can participate, develop, and contribute freely and equitably. They aim to leverage the power of diversity for sustainable competitive advantage. Thanks for asking.
Awesome. So this concludes our thing over here. Sometimes, as we are using free accounts, APIs are like little slow to respond back. But in real world, when you pay, so it will be pretty fast to answer your questions in real time. Uh, so let me jump back onto our things over here again. The HR chatbot. So I hope this makes sense to you now how everything is interlinked and how uh, things are talking to each other. Um, I would say thanks to OpenAI for providing all the free credits and Weaviate and Hugging Face, right? For all these awesome free things available online and everywhere. Uh, and Langchain for such an awesome framework to just club everything together to make such an awesome interface. So this is one part of it, right? Very simple, easy app over here, which is not scalable but good as a POC or a proof of concept. But I have definitely written an article on Medium about how this thing can be uh, expanded and used in microservice architecture, uh, and where we can actually scale up horizontally, vertically, and then how we can just put like or add this thing to our existing mesh of services, right? And RAG can be another set of processes in our big landscape of microservices. So that is it, right? For the article and the GitHub, like the code link, I will leave in the description of this video. You can go and check and let me know if you have any comments or suggestions. Uh, and thank you. Have a good one. Thank you for watching the video. Bye.